What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to On the Warpath. Sanchez 405 with you. And if you do, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime new content posted. And also follow the rules in the comments like Hawk did, y'all. But y'all know what we do here. We talk Washington Commanders all the time. And today we do Chain of Command. Usually we do on Wednesday. We do on Sunday. Had a lot of stuff going on. Some other stuff we kind of talk about later on in the week personally. So, but we kind of move on from that for right now. And we bring in one of the fiery personality. We wanted to say, yeah, he'll make you think. That's all. A guy that definitely makes you say, when he says what he says, he knows what he's talking about. We bring on the man from the corner. We bring on Jairus. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Feeling good. What's going on? I feel all right. Can't say I feel bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm making it, man. Like us all, we're all making it out here in the struggle. So yeah, appreciate you coming on here and talking about this team. We don't know what's up, what's down with these guys half the time. But today they know this week they knew where they were going to be playing at, and we kind of dive right into the schedule. We'll talk a little bit about the draft and maybe adding somebody else to the roster or two going in to OTAs and whatnot. And for spoiler alert, I will be at OTAs on the 26th as part of the season ticket holder thing. So I'll be there. So I'll try to click some sights and sounds for you all out there. But yeah, schedule came out, playing Jacksonville, playing Philadelphia. And, instantly when we see teams that we say we're better than, we should be better than these two teams. A lot of folks thinking 2-0 jumping out the gates. But you got a team that is much improved. And Jacksonville, they've added a couple pieces. Detroit seems like they started getting their stuff together on the back end of the season. They did beat Arizona, but who didn't in the month of December? Tell me what you thought about those first three games, and then you got Philadelphia at home.
So the Jaguars and the Lions
Mm-hmm.
and the Eagles.
Yeah,
I feel like the same thing. First two games are W's. If they're not, this is a problem. Jared Goff, obviously, they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, DJ Chark, TJ Hawkinson, DeAndre Swift. So their offensively, they should be okay, but I don't see them bursting on the scene. Their defense, Aiden Hutchinson is pretty much all they got. The Jaguars are much improved, but they still young. That's an actual Brandon Sheriff revenge game, if anything. So that should be good. But the first two games, both W's. The Eagles game, that's here, right? The first game
is the first one is here, yeah.
So the Eagles game, I believe that's another W. So I say we start the season 3-0. I think the Eagles, I'm not buying the hype. I'm not buying it. Everybody thinks the Eagles going to be this and that. I personally have the Eagles going 8-9 this year. But obviously they improved in certain areas. The quarterback position, we'll see. They really didn't improve the back end at all. They improved their front end, obviously, because you have to build in the trenches in this division primarily because of us first, because of what we did. That you see the Giants did it. Now the Eagles, Fletcher Cox starting to fade away. So they bring in Jordan Davis, Brandon Graham fading away. You bring in the Kobe Day. So, the first three games should be easy, personally. I think the Eagles game is a divisional game, so I wouldn't say easy, but it should be. You should beat these teams handily, personally.
I got you. It'd be kind of funny too because this team hasn't won in Detroit since
we lose to them in 2020.
Yep.
When Chase Young gave up that big
that stupid hit on Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They haven't beat 08. That's right. Because remember, we were the first team to lose to them after they had lost all them games in a row. And I think Kirk Cousins had a chance to beat them. They had that drive. Stafford went down the field, hit Anquan Bolden at the end of the game. So they've had a lot of bad luck in there. And I see 2-0, but it's always something weird. you know how we at. You know how we are. It always seems like stuff that's given out to us laid out on a platter, we struggle. I feel like if we do win in both of these games, they aren't going to be easy games. They're going to be stuff where we shot ourselves in the foot, and it's going to be like, maybe we shouldn't have won this game. Maybe we should have. I don't know. That I just feel like, I don't know. Just with Ron and them, clock management, all that stuff. And, we kind of move on for those first 3 games. We kind of break it down in like 3 to 4 game increments. Then it starts to get it gets interesting. This is probably one of the toughest stretches in the season, if not the toughest. You have 3 division champions in 4 weeks. You go at Dallas. You have Tennessee at home. You're Thursday night at Chicago. And then you're back to host the Packers on Sunday the 23rd. And then also, we'll wrap up the month of October here. You're at Indianapolis. So the Carson Wentz revenge game. Tell me what you think about the month of October.
I'm not scared of none of those teams. Really, I have it starting off 6-0. I really do.
Ooh.
The Bears, they don't have nothing around Justin Fields. We're gonna blow them out. The Colts is a revenge tour. I mean, a lot of these games play directly into our hands. Now, whether Ron Rivera has us ready for it or not, that'll be the problem. But I think who was the 4th game? Dallas. We're gonna beat them.
Dallas at Dallas after Philadelphia. Yeah.
And then you said Green Bay not this. We were supposed to be Green Bay last year if we had a quarterback, and they worse this year. So this to me, it don't get started. The schedules don't start getting hard until late to me. Really, because when you Green Bay, who do they got now? Their defense is to me could potentially elite defense. The defense, but the offense. Who am I afraid of on the offense? I don't even think they re-signed Tanyan. Christian Watson, I love the dude, but he probably needs a year. What you gonna do? Run around with Aaron Jones? Like I said, they had a better team last year, and we should have beat them, but we didn't. It was really much turnovers in the quarterback. We was in the red zone like 6 times, and then the Colts. Carson Wentz is gonna get a revenge on them. To me, none of these games scare me at all. But I think we dropped one of them. The Tennessee game, Traylon Burks, Robert Woods coming back off ACL. Is Ryan Tannehill going to be the starter by then? Do we get Malik Willis, a rookie, by that time? So it's so much uncertainty with these other teams. I'm not afraid. You can get over on them. Mm-hmm. So I'm not afraid of none of these teams. They play right into our hands personally. I think we lose one of those games. I think we go on the street, and I think we get big-headed, and then we lose. And then we turn around and say, hey, we didn't arrive. We didn't do nothing yet. And then we start winning again. But I think I think we lose a game we're supposed to win. And I think it's probably going to be between Tennessee and Green Bay, one of those teams. I think I'll say Tennessee because they run the ball a lot. So they probably could try to control the clock. So I see a loss to Tennessee.
Okay, see a loss to Tennessee. I don't know. I think honestly, I think the Tennessee game is going to be a win. The strange thing is, put this on your calendars, y'all. We will see Malik Willis in that ball game. That's my hot take on that. Because I think after looking at that Cincinnati playoff game that Tennessee had, I think the writing's on the wall for Tannehill, and then you're going to have people out there who are going to want Vrabel, which Vrabel's a pretty steady hand. Probably try to push him to the forefront, support him with the running game with Derrick Henry, run him into the ground, but have him out there. So I don't know. We might see Malik Willis there. Who else do we have? I feel like Chicago on a short week. Yeah, I feel like Chicago on a short week is a trap. And some reason about Green Bay, I think that's a toss-up game because historically Aaron Rodgers has struggled at FedEx Field.
Oh, they come here.
Yeah, they come here. So historically he's struggled. Not saying we've always won outside that playoff game. And they started out slow in that playoff game. But if you look at it, the last few times they've been there, they've either had slow starts or they just were non-existent. So you look at back in, 2016, Kirk Cousins threw all over the yard. And then I think it was 2010, right? Yeah, it's 2010. McNabb and them and it was like a 16-13 game. They took it in overtime. So there's a lot of times that Green Bay, it just reeks that Aaron Rodgers kind of struggles here. Don't know if that's going to be the case this year, but just saying, just look at the numbers, look at the past history of coming here, and you might believe me. So I think it's a toss-up game. Carson Wentz is going to win in Indianapolis. I think he's got too much to prove, but also with Carson Wentz is, will he let the moment get to his head? That's the biggest thing for me. Is like, is he gonna play so stiff because he wants to beat Jim Irsay? He really wants to beat Jim Irsay because this is a guy, and Chris Ballard. These are guys who've been throwing him around the yard pretty much. Frank Reich hasn't said that, so I don't. Actually, that's a toss-up game.
Frank Reich might throw it on purpose.
He might. He might.
Be like, hey, I was right. He might throw it.
Yeah, you never know. He's. I'm trying to get up out of here. Let's see here. Command this podcast. Hey, what's up, y'all? I said the same thing. Malik at FedEx. That's Steve. What's up, Steve? How y'all doing? I forgot y'all rebranded. Okay, all right. Our fanatic fellas, they have went ahead and rebranded. Command this podcast. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the super chat. So we move over to November. November's a little weird, but we'll take a look at it. Kirk Cousins come back to Washington for the first time at the Eagles, at the Texans. Falcons are at home the week of Thanksgiving. That wraps up December for Washington. This stretch right here, I kind of look at the two games that really concern me, and it's just because of time. Monday night at Philadelphia, you flip around, you're on the road again, 1:00 at Houston. Technically, it's a 12:00 start because they're in the Central Time Zone. So you're really being there a little bit early. It's 1:00 start, but you're still out there a little bit early. Get your time. So maybe that might help you out. I don't know, but what'd you think about that November slot?
I said this on my channel. I said this in the beginning. If I say in the beginning of the season, if we're up on teams, put them away so you can sit players. If we're up against the Jaguars and Lions, put them away. Sit Wentz, sit Terry. That's how you keep these guys fresh. If we're up on teams, put them away, put them to bed. That way you can rest dudes and get them out the game. So I think that'd be huge because I think the first 2 weeks of the season, you can get rid of these. If you get rid of these teams and start resting, you're gonna be pretty good going about week 14. You should be pretty well settled and healthy. So the Texans, I think so. That was our first primetime game against the Eagles. So that's the black jersey. So I don't think we lose that game.
Well, no, it won't be the black jersey because that's on. They'd be on the road.
Would they? We only wear them at home.
I would assume we'd wear them at home because Eagles sometimes wear black in prime time.
That's true.
So that may be a possibility. I think all our primetime games, to be honest with you, are on the road because at the Bears on Thursday night, and then it's Philadelphia.
So I think one of those games we'll wear black. We will have to.
In November we will because they'll do it for like military appreciation. I think what game we'll probably see it. It'll be some random game. It'll be against Minnesota or the Falcons. I think it might be Minnesota.
Okay. I think we lose to Minnesota. Okay. I think that's a loss. We can win, but I think that's a loss. I'll call it a loss. And I think we lose to the Falcons.
I think we lose to the Falcons
primarily because
Desmond Ridder.
Exactly. Primarily because of that.
Come on.
Primarily because of that, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I think we're gonna lose that game because of him. Be honest with you.
Oh,
so I got the Falcons because we're going to lose a game that we're supposed to win. So I think the Falcons is going because we always lost to the Falcons last year. Yeah. So I think this year they definitely got a better team. I say we lose to the Falcons, the Vikings. We beat the Eagles and Texans handily. We destroy the Texans.
Oh, okay.
I think it would behoove you, especially if you're on a short week, get the Texans up out of it so you can rest dudes. Teams like that You have to just say, hey, we come in such an urgency, put them away early so you can rest. And that's what I tell the team I run. Look, we're going to come out here, we're going to put them away early so y'all can rest. If y'all don't do it, y'all going to be playing. So put teams to bed early. That's the beauty of this schedule. If you clearly disappear your team, put them away so y'all can rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I will stress throughout all the easy games. I stress that so much. Hurry up, put them to bed. And a lot of that's on Ron Rivera and them as well, because you need to coach and call plays. Because a lot of times we'll get conservative with play calling instead of just putting the team away. So put them away, and then let's just go ahead and get up out of there.
I got a question for you. After just okay, boom. I wrote that down for a few minutes later. And you kind of mentioned the bye week and everything. So to wrap up the season, you're home for the Giants. You have a bye week. I think it's the latest bye week I've ever seen out of this team in week 14. Then you're at the Giants. That's a TBD. Christmas Eve for the 49ers at San Francisco. And then you wrap the game up, the season up at home, back-to-back weeks. Cleveland and Dallas come to FedEx Field, which I thought, and I really like this, in December, if it's a possible playoff push, you have a bye week and 3 of your last 5 are at home. You can't ask for anything better than that, really, to be honest with you. Especially if what's to say you win the division, right? And you're playing in the first week. So technically you have 3 consecutive games at home. Something for you to chew on there, y'all. What would you think there?
I think that stretch, I felt like we're going to lose the last. I feel like the Cowboy game would be a throwaway. I think we going to have the division pretty much sealed up by then. And we just say, hey, Cowboys, you can win. We just say win, we'll rest players. And we might win that game because you could beat them with Howe or the Heineke. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much, what I mean? So you could beat them with either one. But I think we lose to the Browns. They have Deshaun Watson back by then. Well, way before then, probably. So we lose to maybe the Browns might be like, we locked ours up, so we might as well. So, but I think we lose to the Browns. We lose to Dallas. I think we beat Giants twice. We sweep the Giants.
Okay.
I think do Giants have that is they bye week somebody around that time? Because if it's not, then that's an easy 2 wins. If they don't get a bye week, because they got to basically face us back to back, and we rested.
Hey, let's see here. What's their schedule? Ants. Here we go. 2022 schedule. Finish their bye week. They may do something stupid and put them in there. They do play on Thanksgiving this year, so that's a good one. Week 10. Their bye week is in week 9, so
they got a short week.
Yeah, they deal with us. We have the bye week in between that between that little middle point where they play us, play the other team. I don't know who they would play.
So we basically got all day to study for them.
That's all it is. It's going to be 3 weeks of the Giants. So this is what they have. So they play us, and then week 14. They don't have. They play. Ooh, somebody didn't do them any favors. Us, Philly, then us again. That's what it's looking like.
Hey, that might be 3 L's.
Yeah.
I think they beat Philly.
Oh,
they gotta get Philly. And I think they probably gonna do that. We beat them, they're gonna be like, we gotta get Philly. We gotta get one of these. They're gonna get one. It's not gonna be us though. I think they get Philly. I think they get Philly.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something about the Giants just kind of like, and I'm not saying they're gonna be good, but I feel like they're gonna be a nuisance. Like they may be like what Detroit was. Like you're gonna feel them when you play them, right? And they might you might beat them, but
it's a dog fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a dog fight for 60 minutes. That's the one thing
I had the Giants finishing second
in the division. Wow, huh?
Because I've always said that their team scares me the most because they're so talented. The problem was always the O line, which I believe they have situated. They just need the quarterback now. And maybe they might say, "Hey, Daniel Jones messing up. Let's go call for Baker."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they might go that route. Or, well, I doubt we do that. They may call us and be like, "Give us Sam Howell," something like that. I think the only way we do that is if they give a first, and I think
Yeah.
they do that. But I don't think that'll be smart of us to do that. But
Right.
there's such a talented team, and Daniel Jones, he cooks us. But I mean, that team is so talented. And Daniel Jones does have moments in games where you say, "Okay, this can be the dude," and he has moments where you say, "Okay, never mind." It's just
Yeah.
a matter of what you get.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, yeah, he's underrated. Like his speed is underrated. It's just he got to put it all together because I remember at the game, the first home game, the home game against the Giants this year, I was like, he's faster than average. Like than he's advertised. He's faster than he was on TV. And I think he rushed for 95 yards that day. And one of them was like a big 60-some odd yard run that he almost took to the house. So the athleticism is there. It's the fact that can he put it together and be a competent passer and leader for these guys. And I don't know if Dayball is that guy to do that for him, but it's a lot telling that they said you're not going to give him the 5th year extension for a rookie, even if it's off his rookie contract, right? To me, that's telling more than anything because you're going to have to pay more money in the long run, even if he has a good year. So you can't kick that down the current because you're either going to burn your franchise tag on him if you decide to keep him, which they probably are not going to keep him. Looking at it right now, we're us sitting here today.
Mm-hmm. They
So
gonna need something. I mean, they can. I don't know what they trying to do. I think they believe in Daniel Jones, at least for one more year to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
At least for one more year to try it out because a team that talented. I mean, in next year's draft class, because I'm already doing, I do college football prospect breakdown.
Yeah, I saw your mayor breakdown. That's where That's where that picture came from on the thumbnail. So
yeah. It's a deep class. You can sit right where you are and get yourself a dude. You don't got to move up. So they don't have to move up. You can sit right where you are and get yourself a dude next year.
Okay. Cool.
So, but that's what I'm afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is one guy who I love. I call him my Ritter for this year. It's Will Levis. That dude I hope the Giants
from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope they don't pull that off because, man,
he got an arm on him too.
Athleticism. He's built like a tight end, but he runs like a truck. Like he moves. He can, man.
We're gonna wait and see. I'm looking forward to seeing him, especially in that SEC. I always thought that's why I always had hope for Drew Lock because of his passing numbers in that conference. It's like you have to have some kind of arm talent to put up those numbers in the SEC, like 4,000 yards, 5,000 yards. It's not just snubbing your nose at it. And he didn't have a lot around him in Missouri.
My thing with Drew Lock is me and Tim go back and forth. I'd be like, I don't want Drew Lock. The arm talent, it's guys like that. But you say everything's there, but they lack so much other stuff.
Intangibles.
They lack so much other stuff. And it's like, you won't succeed unless you have That's why I think arm strength and all that extra stuff, I don't care about that. It's these other things that you need to be elite. If you don't have these, you can have all the talent in the world. That don't mean nothing. If you don't have these, this, and this, you're not going to be successful at the next level. You just won't be. And that's why I just don't look at strong arms and things of that nature. I go through a whole list. I'm like, do you have this, and this? And if you do, all right, you that dude. If you don't, then I can't give it to you. I don't care how talented you are.
My biggest thing is when I look at like quarterbacks and stuff, I like to see what they did on third down. And I feel like that's a lot. That's one of the most telling stats is how they're moving the offense on third down. If they're not moving on the money down, how can you get these guys? Like if these guys got like 40. So look at some of these quarterbacks that people have rated high and they come in and struggle. Look at their college third down percent conversion rate. You will find that nine times out of 10, those are very parallel stats. And it'll tell you a lot about why that guy struggles at the next level, because he couldn't do it on there. And that's just a high level right there. But you got to go dig down in the weeds. But that's one of those key stats that I always look at. I say, I don't know about this guy's not good on third down. Let's kind of move away from this, especially with that talent. So we wrap up this schedule and look at it. So how much you still have us at what, 11-6? I think last time.
I got 11-6. I got 11-6. I think I'll ceiling 12-5.
12-5 is the ceiling. I like that. I for some reason we always have some dumb losses in here. I've got to give. I'm looking 9-8, 10-7. I think that is the I think that's the sweet spot right there, and that can get you in. That can get you in the 6th seed.
That should get you fired too. Because I mean, 2 more wins.
Us 3 more wins. If you get 10,
even 3 more wins. Like, come on at that point. Like, kind of, Wentz is only not even Wentz. This roster is 3 more wins better than last year. I have a problem with that, because this dude, I love Wentz, but just saying, he eating up $28 million. Okay, I just drafted Jahan Dotson in the 1st round. I got $13 million in Curtis Samuel. I got Diami. I got Gibby. I got Logan. Defense, if they play to their potential, at which they should, it's no reason for me to be looking at no 10 or 9 wins. Otherwise, players need to go, because they're not as talented as we thought they were.
That's fair. And I'll ask you this one too. They win 10 they have 10 wins, they make it to the NFC Championship game.
All right, then I might close my mouth.
Like I'm saying, last year, what did Cincinnati won 10 games last year? Which nobody thought that was going to come out. I think they won 10 games last year.
I think they won more than that.
Did they win 10 or 11?
They had to win 11. Let me see. Bengals. Where'd they go? They had to been 11, because I thought they won a division.
Did they win? Yeah. How many did they get? 10-7.
They went 10-7?
That's what Steve's saying.
Bengals record. I don't know why it's not trying to show me every other team but the Bengals. Maybe you might get it before me.
2022. 20.
Dang, this is really not showing me nothing.
2021 Bengals schedule. They were first. We know that.
Yeah, they was 10-7.
They were 10-7.
Okay. I think they threw a game though. I thought they threw one at the end.
Yeah, I think they played. They lost to Cleveland at the end of the year.
So maybe you're right. But that's the thing. To me, the ceiling for this team is the NFC Championship game, because it's 2 teams that I'm afraid of. It's the Rams and the Saints. Now the Saints. But outside of them, I'm not scared of nobody else.
Right.
As far as Tampa go, we can beat you with our 3rd string. As far as I'm concerned, like, we can beat you with how? We definitely. You know what I think? And we found ourselves against Tampa. I think Tampa would not want to play Heineke. I think they root to play wins. I think they root to play wins. I don't think they want no parts of Heineke. They be like, you know what? We ain't got Heineke today. I switch it up on them. I play Heineke anyway. Just cause.
I think that Tampa, you bring up Tampa. I think Tampa's set up to be the biggest bust in the league this year.
Yeah, me too.
Just because of, and I didn't think about this until this earlier this week when Tom Brady got that contract for Fox, and now he has a way to be involved in football after football now, so he's not sitting around the house the whole time like it was last year and coming out of retirement. So he proved that his heart was out of it when he retired for a month and a half. Comes back. Now he's getting ready to prepare after he's done. It's kind of like what Drew Brees did, right? And, the focus isn't always there. So I do think that they could set up to be the biggest bust of the year out there. And that would be devastating, because the NFC South is awful this year. That is a bad division.
I'm not gonna say that. I think it's tougher than you think.
Really? Who do you like down there?
I think the Saints are phenomenal, but the Panthers, if that old line, they got Ike Miguanu, plus they had Dylan Red Nose, they had DeAndre. I believe. Okay, you finally got. If you can protect, and Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, you have a problem in the NFC South because they have everything else. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrence Marshall, Tommy Trimble, Chuba Hubbard, Christian McCaffrey. The defense is phenomenal across the board, and they added Matt Ioannidis, which is going to make it that to pair up with Dwayne Brown. That's going to be a nasty D line with what's his name, Brian Burns, Shaq Thomas, Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn coming back. If they can just protect the quarterback and stay healthy, Panthers are a problem, huge problem. And I believe the Falcons would have been if Ridley didn't do what he did. Because then you got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Calvin Ridley, Cordero Patterson, Mike Davis, and Ritter coming in. That'll be their defense leaves a lot to be desired, but the offensively, the NFC. I mean, I'm not worried about Tampa though. Everybody gonna hype up Tampa because of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I told people last year, I said Tampa's defense is trash. Everybody like, what? And then what was they that next season? Trash.
Yeah, they were bad. They gave up some. What they give up like 35 to Dallas. Still beat them.
No, they won that game. They won that game.
They won that game. They shouldn't have won that game. That was the thing. Dallas outplayed them in that game from start to finish. I mean, I think they survived like 2-3 interceptions that Brady threw that day. So I don't know, but the South, I'm just looking at it because what you say about Carolina being a problem, I think there'll be a problem next year, not this year. And the only reason why I say that is you got Matt Rule going into a lame duck year. It's the reason why he hired Ben McAdoo. He knows that this is do or die for him. And I think when he knows his back is against the wall, and Tepper wants to win anyway. That's why he fired Ron Rivera. He didn't want Ron Rivera to continue to develop. I think you make more mistakes in that situation. And I think that's what Matt Rule's going to do. And I'll tell you this right here. I think Matt Rule's probably one of the first head coaches fired next year.
That's crazy. I like Matt Rule too.
I've never been a Matt Rule fan because he looks like an art teacher being a coach with those little smocks he'd be wearing all the time. So, and brother ain't got no NFL outside of being the assistant O-line coach.
I mean, but their drafts are amazing.
Yeah, they got good. But is that a credit to their front office, or is that really like to Matt Rule?
I kind of gave him credit for it, to be honest with you. That's why I like him. Because the last two drafts, I was like, these are amazing from start to finish. And what's so special about Carolina is they're not afraid to go out and get a dude like Stephon Gilmore. We're not afraid to go out there and get one. And they have Matt Corral,
right?
Which is a problem if you can protect them. That's why I say that.
I got you. Okay.
Sam Darnold, all best of all. Never mind.
All the Lego, please. Let's see here real quick. Philly on Monday night gives me nightmares from games past. Not excited about seeing Jordan Davis twice a year. Big test for the O-line. Let's see here. Paulie, I ain't paying attention to your comments, boy. Gunny Man. Yeah, it's Gunny Man. Paulie, is that you? Your Texas game will be harder than the Falcons game. I mean, Mills today is better quarterback than Ritter as a rookie. Let's see here. We're kind of bold on Davis Mills, though. Old deep throat, as we like to call. Last year, we won 4 straight. And had a chance to go toe-to-toe for the division. Then we looked bad, very bad against Philly and Dallas. Bitter taste. Will it be any different this year? You know, I feel like people have amnesia when they talk about this 4-game winning streak. And the thing is, against Dallas at home, they deviated from the game plan that had got them 4 wins. If you think about it, they came out there throwing the ball. They did not run. They were against who was it now? Who did we play against in them 4 games we won? It was
Carolina, Tampa,
Carolina. Yeah. they all ran the ball. And then that last game against Seattle, before we went out to Vegas, they started trying to throw the ball on Monday Night Football around the yard. Remember, like it was like, it's 3rd and 2. Well, let's throw the ball. Run the rock. Just run it. Like it wasn't that hard. And this wasn't a good Seahawks team. And we were pitter-paddling around with them. And this was before McKissick even got hurt. And then we saw the dynamic of the offense going down. So to my point is, and you kind of brought this up earlier, I don't know how much indirectly brought this up. I don't know how much I can trust Scott Turner in being creative and not deviating off schedule, because it's like you can tell in his play calling that he gets in his head. It gets his head. He's like, I can't do with what's working for us. I've got to add a new wrinkle to it right now.
that 4-game win streak. I mean, the only reason why people bring those 4 games up because Ron does. Those 4 games, 2 of them, put it this way, because I always love to talk about this. The first 2 games are completely different from the last 2. They were not the same. It wasn't the same game.
We were riding by the seat of our pants in those last 2 games.
But the first 2 games, we were getting chunk plays in the pass game. Terry was getting targeted in those games. When you look at the next 2, we wasn't getting chunk plays. We stopped trying to do that, which is one of the and like people like we should have lost against Oakland. We should have lost against Seattle. And I always say people was riding high on this 4 game. I said, listen, we're 6-6. If we play the same way we played these last 2 games, we're not going anywhere. Dallas is going to smash it. That's when everybody's like, oh, we want Dallas. I'm like, I don't want Dallas. I don't. Because if you can't check Hunter Renfrow, you got CD, Schultz, Cooper, and all of them coming up in here, and we got whooped. When you look at the Raiders game, Bobby McCain got burnt. Should have been a PI, and if that was Darren Waller, that would have been a touchdown. Zay Jones just dropped it. Not to mention Taylor Heinicke threw a pick. It was dropped. Nobody talking about this. The Seattle game, they should have tied it up. That game should have been over. It shouldn't even have came to that. We should have lost the Seattle game. And everybody, and what made me so mad is when I seen a video of them sitting up there dancing and stuff in the locker room. I'm like, Ron Rivera cannot tell these dudes that this is good enough to win. And people and fans got on me so hard. They was mad at me. Yo, we win. I'm like, I don't want to be. I'm not a dude who takes mediocrity. I want to be a great team. Sitting there and cheering about 2 games in a game that you should have lost, and Ron Rivera had this team thinking, and that's good enough moving forward. That's why we lost. That's on Ron. And that was Bill Belichick. They would not be sitting up in there playing no music. We would have lost that game. I mean, we would have won a game, but Bill Belichick not sitting. Why y'all? This is not good enough. This is mediocrity. This is unacceptable. You can't go out there and have you know what and you win, but that's not good enough. Ron Rivera had us thinking that was good enough, and that's a problem. That's a problem. That's not good enough, and that's one of the problems I have with Ron Rivera. You get them how they come, no matter how you get it, you got it. No, that's not how you become a great team. How you become a great team is that's not good enough, and he didn't tell them that. And we got next week. What happened? We got whooped by Dallas. So that's fair point. That's fair point. And then to Scott Turner, listen, everybody give him this excuse. He doesn't have a quarterback. Well, he got one now.
Exactly.
And he got weapons everywhere. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And the number one thing, if we I always say this, if you just target Terry, you win multiple. You get to 11 wins. Mm-hmm. You have to target him. Because if you don't, last year we didn't make him a threat. So the team said, you know what? We're not double teaming him anymore. Man coverage, because you're not making him a threat anyway. You're not going to throw it to him. You're not targeting him. You're not making him part of the game plan. Why is Terry McLaurin going 3 quarters without a target?
Right.
That's crazy. And you got to give him 25, 26 million this year. So you better use the crap out of that. You better.
And nobody's going to trade for him either. That's the thing, because they know that they can get him next year or the year afterwards.
They might. I think the Chiefs might do it.
You think the Chiefs?
Chiefs or Green Bay might call.
What do you think they would do? What do you think?
I think they'll. I think Chiefs would be desperate because they still want to win now, and they're definitely at the bottom of the division right now. They call for Terry. I think they'd be the first ones to call, and Aaron Rodgers. I think Rodgers say, "Go get him. Whatever you got to do, go get him."
Okay.
Those would be two teams.
I don't think, and I'll go on the record of saying this: if you can't get them re-signed, just try and get something out of them. That's my thing, and I know people don't want to hear that, but at the end of the day,
but okay. Do you think he will play on his contract?
Huh?
Do you think he'll play on his contract?
I don't think he will, because I feel like, and I feel like, and this is just optimistic me, I think they'll get a deal done in before training camp. I think they'll get it done 2 or 3 days before training camp. Because if we know one thing about Ron and them is that if they have an inkling that something good's going to happen, they really don't talk about it that much. Like, they didn't really talk about John Allen's contract until the end. They didn't talk about Logan Thomas's contract until they were like, Logan Thomas's re-up really kind of came out of nowhere. It was just oh, okay. Oh, they're re-signing him. For me, they haven't talked that much about Terry unless they've been asked about it. That's the only thing. And you know how, like, with Brandon Sheriff's like, oh, yeah, we continue to work on Brady. Like, they bring it up and nobody will ask. They're not talking about it because I feel like they're going to get something done.
I mean, from what I heard, a report was like talks really even haven't started. If that's true, that's scary. Because they didn't even give him a deal yet. Even with John Allen, a month or two before that, we heard rumblings of a 4-year 72. Months before that, of his contract, we haven't heard nothing about Terry's deal.
And then you had Scrubs reset the market too. That I think they probably had. That's the thing. And this started with Christian Kirk. He reset the market. What was it? He was getting 20. He's getting 21 this year. There's no way on God's green earth that I can rationalize giving Christian Kirk $21 million. But it happened because a bad team had to overpay for a mediocre player to come to them. And they reset the whole market. And we saw the fall through on it.
Yeah, everybody capitalized off it. Then AJ got 25. I heard DK contract. They already set the groundwork for DK contract. So DK might be before Terry. What if DK say re-up and DK get 25.5 or 26?
I think you got to pay. I think the price tag for Terry would be 27 at that point. And that's just the bottom line. That would be, it had to be 26.5 or 27 or something. Exactly. Because is he now specimen wise? Is he better than Terry? Yes. Specimen wise, yes. Big, lanky, tall. He's not a better wide receiver than Terry. I can't.
He's not. And Ron Rivera messed himself up in a press conference when they asked him, "Does like AJ Brown deal?" He was like, "No, two different players. It's always going to be based off of what they mean to their team." He said that. Well,
yeah.
You just messed yourself up because AJ does nothing for Philly. Terry's the world here. So, okay, Terry going to use that. You said Terry's the face of the franchise. So I'm the face of the franchise. Give me this. And back to the point where I asked you, if he doesn't play that, say they don't get a deal done. Right. And he's toes out. We start off 0-3. What you think they're going to do? Now you have to turn back around and pay him because now you're in trouble. So you got to pay him either way.
Somebody will be gone if they start out 0-3 though.
Exactly, and Terry not. But I think Dan gonna be like, all right, I'm stepping back in here. Terry gonna get this. Take that. If Terry really want to, he's not that kind of a guy. But hey, Dan, I want 27. Okay, right away. But I'm not as optimistic. I say it's a 40% chance that they don't get the deal done. 40% chance that they don't.
So you got a 60% chance that they get it before. Like that's why I'm about 75%. I'm about 75. I think they're going, but then I've seen the stupidity of this team. You've seen the stupidity of this team in the front office, and even no matter who it is, it's still something dumb, something they can get in the way of. But I hope for our sake that it happens.
Because we're not going nowhere without him.
No. No, you're gonna need help because with the layout of these wide receivers and everything, we don't have a guy who is average to
that
nobody's
scared of.
Yeah, nobody's scared of nobody. Now, if you get Curtis Samuel back and he's healthy and he's what we think he is, now you've got something you can talk about, something you can finally work with. But we got a lot of Jags. I know, and a lot of people love Cam Sims. I like Cam Sims. He's a Jag. He's a Jag. That's all he is. He's just a guy. And
I don't think he make the roster.
Really?
I think Kelvin Harmon gonna figure out a way to take his spot.
Huh?
I think Kelvin
there's
Harmon,
a hot take right there.
because they ain't keeping Kelvin around for nothing. They hoping.
They got AGG back too.
They still got him around too. So, hey, they might be like, you know what? And I think Kelvin Harmon's way better than Cam Sims, and he's a reliable catcher. Reliable, very reliable.
Well, he was his rookie year. He absolutely
exactly. He showed flashes towards the end, but that ACL hurt him.
Yeah.
And Ron said it himself. He's like, "Oh, I want Kelvin Harmon as our number 2 before the ACL." He said it in the press conference. So he still likes Kelbo, but Kelbo I think Kelbo, he's just better than Cam Sims. But I think Cam Sims is, even if Cam Sims make the roster, he's 5th wide receiver behind Terry, Jahan, Curtis, and Diami. So he's 5th. We ain't gonna see Cam that much.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
yeah, I'm waiting because people always tell you it's like the Bryce Love affair, right? Like when everybody was like, Bryce Love is coming back. Bryce Love is coming. He's going to give him an opportunity. But Cam hasn't been hurt. But the only game that you can credit that Cam has helped us win,
the Cowboy game,
not the Cowboy game. It was the Pittsburgh game. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Pittsburgh game. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh game. But all other games that he had big games in. Against Dallas this past year, that was a loss. Against the Giants in 2020, that was a loss. So it's like, and his numbers didn't drop off the paper at Alabama either. I think his best season was like 500-some yards. But he said, "Oh well, he was buried on the roster." I said, "Yeah, and still though, it's Alabama. If you're good, you can get. You're good. You'll get playing time."
It's his catcher. He's not consistent enough.
Yep, exactly what it is. That's not Nati, fool. That's Jarris. This is Kryptonite Nati right here, or Superman Nati. We'll flip it around. They y'all gotta go back and watch him and Nati duel out on Nati's channel. No, Paul, I ain't sending you the link, bro. This is 1-on-1. Let's see. Would you front load or would you back load Terry's contract?
You would have to front. I mean, I don't really think you can do either at this point because of the contracts that you got coming down the turnpike. Chase, Cam, Tez. So can you really afford to be backloading stuff right now?
Yep.
That's what makes it crazy. Like, I don't even think, man, we got the money for Terry, but I think they want Terry to take a pay cut. Ooh. But he's not going to do that.
No, and nor should he though. He shouldn't take one.
And that's why I think it's holding up because remember AJ said they disrespected me with a contract. I think they got a deal that's going to disrespect Terry that they don't want to actually give him. Because they don't want to say, "Hey, get me out of here." Because people just think Terry is just he is a nice guy, but he's a man too.
It's a business too.
Exactly. Like y'all got to give me my money. You know, I'm not taking if I'm Terry, take a pay cut for what? What are you doing with the money? Every time we get money, we do something dumb with it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, $10 million, gone. That $10 million can be. If we had that $10 million right now, go get Bradbury. We don't have the $10 million because we wasted it.
Facts.
So like, we don't know what to do with the money. That's why I want Terry to take all of it because at least we know who's going to do something with the money.
Yeah. What's up, Damien? Let's see. Let's go back through here. Skins fan all day up in the house. What's up, brother? He says they got to get Terry contract out of the way, be beneficial. Absolutely. We have a GM from the Lions. We will screw it up. It comes to signing Marquis, but I don't know about that, y'all. I think that y'all know Mayhew was a guy who came in after all that debacle and all that. Like he was there. He's part of the team that drafted Matt Stafford and the team that got a couple of playoff appearances. They had to rebuild. So the man has been able to rebuild. And I think they were back in the playoffs like 2 years later after that point. They were in 2011, but they had to go and play. Oh God, who was it? Help me out. New Orleans. They played New Orleans in that wild card round, lost there because it was just terrible. And then I think another 2-3 years later, they should have won a playoff game in Dallas. The refs screwed them. They would have probably been going up the road somewhere. And then 16. So he's been there putting together quality teams. I feel like that's a farce when people say, oh, well, it's Martin Mayhew.
I mean, one of them drafted Brandon Pettigrew in the first round.
That's true. Yeah.
And Eric Ebron. So,
and Ebron had talent, though. I mean, you think about, hey, Pittsburgh got him right, and Indianapolis got him right, and then Pittsburgh tried to cash in with him again too. So, hey, it's like real estate sometimes with the guys. It's all about location. It's the same reason I'm going off the beaten path. It's the same reason why I said Zach Wilson will fail in New York is because you're taking a kid from that's been out in Utah, like Utah. Just think about what Utah is, and you're going to put him in one of the most powerful cities in the world. Wild nightlife, everything else, the aggressive media in New York with the Jets. Come on now, family. Like that don't make sense. You still think that? I still do.
Really? After all, they got a mob right now.
They got a mob. I'm telling you, man.
You just don't believe in Zach Wilson.
I don't believe in Zach Wilson in New York. Yes, I don't believe in that. That's how I will clarify that.
He can't do nothing with that. He can't be good nowhere then.
Man, I really think it's like I just think there are some places that you have to be mentally sharp. I think that's the reason why Eli succeeded with the Giants, because he has no soul, and he was just like, yeah, okay, we'll go here. Can I go play football? And he just didn't. He bumped all the noise. He didn't care about it. But that's my crazy harebrained theory about it, and that's probably why Daniel Jones can't really do it. He come from North Carolina and in the Tar Heel country, then he go to the Giants. I'm like, that's a big major market. That's why I always say we ruin quarterbacks here in this market. I don't necessarily think it's the coaching. I think sometimes the media and the fans
gotta be mentally tough to come in.
Exactly. And that's what worries me on the back end about Carson Wentz. I think he has a lot. He's talented. But I think it's more, it might not even be what's going on at Ashburn. It's more about how we do things from the media standpoint and all that good stuff. But let me see here. What other comments we got? I agree. Turner is dog water. Wentz goes down this season is over. Taylor would get us over 500.
He wouldn't be. Taylor wouldn't. If Wentz went down for the year, Taylor's not seeing the field. They're just going to start Sam Howell. Because Sam Howell's your future. Why would you bring a Heineke for?
It's Ron Rivera too now. You thinking like a sensible man. I will say that.
Howell is better than Heineke.
Right now,
I'm throwing Howell to the wolves right now.
Oh, man. They're not going to do that, though.
Over Heineke?
No, they ain't going to do that.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, the Army is going to be the first one. I don't want Heineke.
Oh, I know he will be.
Terry will be like, give me Howell. If Terry says, give me Howell, they're going to do it.
Well, that's fine if Terry says that. But I at the end of the day, I think it's going to be Heineke. It's going to be Heineke,
I can't see it.
I can see it. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong when I say that. I'm just saying, like, it makes more sense that they would go towards Heineke before doing it. Because one, it's kind of what we just talking about, right? I'm not trying to damage that young man just yet. Like, I don't want to damage him. If I got Heineke in here,
I don't think, but I think to me, that's one of the things I loved about Sam Howell. You're not going to break him. You're not going to break him. That's one of the reasons why he's my second QB on my board. Because when he went to UNC, he didn't have nothing, but you never broke him.
Right.
No matter how much he was losing, he was down. He always figured out a way to reel this team back and make it a game and give his team a chance. He doesn't care about none of that. That's why I love Hal. And he's a dog. He's an animal. He fights to the end. I think this fan base, like I say, me and this fan, I always say I hate the fan base because they'll do, like I say, Wentz could be having an MVP season, 6 weeks. Let's say 6 weeks. He looks like MVP. We go 6-0. He misses 2 weeks. Heineke comes in. Ball's out. Let's leave at Heineke. Wentz is nothing. That's how they are.
Remember,
they'll really forget about what Wentz did, and they'll say, "Oh, Heineke, yeah, bring us Heineke." That's what they do.
Yeah, remember back in 2018, they were 6-2, and people were upset with Alex Smith and how he wasn't throwing for 300 yards, but they were winning games, and they were winning games pretty well too. Like what they had Green Bay. Yeah, there was another game. Green Bay came in there. They beat Green Bay by two scores, being like 31-17. But people weren't happy with it. They wanted to see 300-400 yard passing rather than 120 yards on the ground and a guy throwing for maybe 130 yards, but you're still winning. Like I just like, for me, there's two phases of winning. You got to learn how to win. You got to win consistently, and then you dominate, right? That's like, those are the three ways you go. You have to go in that phase. We can't win consistently yet, folks. So I don't know why we sitting here like trying to find and fit the puzzle, round, holes, square pegs, and everything like that. It just, to me, it makes no sense. And then I get folks' patience are wearing thin, but when we've had nothing, like I mean, I told people before, I have patience with. I had it with Cousins. I had it with Alex Smith. I had to do it with Heineke last year, and I'm not a Heineke fan at all.
Yeah, I much rather have had Kyle Allen at some point. Shoot, Kyle Allen can make some throws.
He could, yeah. And now he's in Houston, so maybe we might see him.
Kyle Allen revenge. We got a lot of revenge games this year, though. We gotta see Durham. We might gotta see Kyle Allen.
Hey, we got a lot of everybody coming. Everybody has saved their seats. Here we go.
Peace.
Skins asks this: do y'all think RG3's comments hold any weight? I guess the one about he thinks that
I wouldn't say it holds any weight, but I don't disagree with him.
I think that I find it kind of funny that he's starting to talk good about us after he was going to write that. He wrote that he was going to write that book that talked about everything when he was just really exploiting what was going on. And that just proved it when they canceled. But I don't care what RG3's at. I feel like Will Smith talking to Chris Rock, keep my team's name out your bleeping mouth. Slap him. Move on. That's it. Like this, Skins. I'm gonna slap. Boom. We off that comment. It's like the Yankees going to. It's like a pitcher going to the Yankees. It's true. Paulie disagrees. Hal's not better than Heineke. Ron and Turner would start Taylor because they can't afford to have a 5-win season. They would get fired. Bro's not Madden. Hal in a year might be better. Taylor was better in the first year, starting an all rookie QBs last year. Let me ask you that. And it's not just, I got to pause on this. What's the love obsession with Taylor Heineke?
I'm actually getting angry because they keep bringing him up.
What's the love?
Taylor Heineke is not better. Taylor Heineke is an undrafted free agent. He's not. People forget. Sam Howell should have been a first round pick this year. Mm-hmm. The prior year, had he came out, he'd have been a top 10 pick that year. And people seem to forget that. Taylor Heineke is nowhere near close to Sam Howell. He's not more accurate. He can't throw as far. He's not faster. He's not more mobile. It's nothing. What you say? He knows the playbook. Fine. Every take it this way. Every receiver on this team would say, "Give me Sam Howell," because that's the dude who's going to make Diami better. That's who Diami wants anyway. He don't want Taylor Heineke throwing the ball. Terry wants somebody. Hey, I'm right here. Somebody who actually knows how to go through their progressions. Somebody who actually can make each and every throw. Somebody who actually can push the ball downfield and get it to him. Taylor Heineke does none of that. He does nothing for us. You literally have to sit there a game plan around him, run the football. With how I can open up the entire playbook. So which one would you want? a dude I can open up the entire playbook, or a dude that I just got to run the football with, and then limit all my other weapons that I have around me because I can't do nothing with them because of my quarterback. Exactly. How's better? It's too much of like I'm tired of like me and Rio be getting so mad at fans that keep obsessing over Taylor Heineke. Like he's
I'm right there. I'm right there with you
for what you've done for us. But you was trash last year. Period. In the story.
He did throw 20 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. He threw
he really threw more than he really threw like 30, 25 interceptions. Because Tim said it all the time, and I was happy about the win, but he threw 3-4 picks against Atlanta. He threw the pick against the Raiders. I just gave you like 4 picks. So add that on. What's that? 20 and 19?
There you go. Hey, I agree with you on the Heineke hopers, man. I do.
Like Heineke, get over it, y'all. Get over it. It's over.
See here. Patrick says, I like this team. We're going to shock people. I hope so. Best QB we've had since Cousins. Heineke was our best option. No, I don't agree with that. I think he was your only option last year. Yeah. That's exactly what that was. Because you had Kyle Allen coming off that injury.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, and to Jarris's point, I agree 110% on what he said. That was wasted money with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I remember, y'all can go back and check the live on here. And I sat through people like, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's got a high QBR. I said, yeah, guys, but he only plays like 6 games a season. It's the longest season ever in NFL history. You want him. This guy's going to play 18 games. I'm sorry. He didn't play 18 minutes.
And even during that game, he looked
17.
horrible.
Yeah. Oh, he was awful. Like he did. Well, that was the only time De'Ami Brown actually had a shot at a ball, though. If you remember, I think they had he overthrew De'Ami, right? Yeah, he overthrew.
I think he underthrew him. No, either that or it was inaccurate because De'Ami was open. And De'Ami just couldn't, he threw it it was just inaccurate. But De'Ami definitely had it. But it was just inaccurate and De'Ami couldn't get to it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I don't love him. We got 7 wins with that schedule last year. I mean, be honest with you, Gilbert Grape almost got us a game too.
Exactly.
He did. I mean, if they weren't throwing with him, they would have gave him. I'm just saying now. See, football team top 4 rookies last year, and it was a good draft. It was a decent draft class.
I mean, the top 4 rookies wasn't drafted in good situations. If you want to run your mouth about it, none of them was drafted in a good situation outside of Trey Lance that he didn't play. So if we want to play that game, let's do it.
Yeah, about your boy Trey Lance. We'll have a conversation later about this. I think he's got that. I think you're gonna have to write that BUST on his chest too.
Why? What did he do?
It's the situation. It's the situation. It's the
situation that he's in right now.
Yes.
So it's not. So you're not talking about the quarterback. You're talking about the situation.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the situation.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with that.
He will be.
But Kyle Shanahan didn't want him.
Exactly.
He wanted Matt.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying, y'all. He will be a bust because.
Let me ask you a question. This is just hypothetical. This is hilarious. If 49ers call and say we'll give you Lance for how, you think Ron will do it?
Well, there was interest there last year.
They love Lance. They love the Lance.
Yeah, that's what I said. There was interest there. I would say Ron would probably kick the tires on, but at the end of the day, I think he'd say no. And then I think that knowing how how Kyle Shanahan is, they would throw the price so out of whack because it's us. It wouldn't even be worth.
I do that. About. I love how though.
I would.
That'd be an interesting trade. But I mean, either way, what's so special about that draft class is Fields. I'm hearing that Mike went out. Lance might say, "Hey, just get me out of here." Those are 2 dudes that I would. Hey, I love you, man. I might got.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, I might have to, man. Because them here would be amazing.
Let me see. If you want to win this year, you play Taylor. If you want to play next year, you play Hal. I think at the end of the day, if you playing to win, I think you play Wentz either way, and then you hope that Heineke can find that magic that he had last year, because he gonna turn the ball over. He's not.
I don't think they're gonna win them, bro.
I don't. I mean, that's why they traded for Wentz, right? That's the reason why.
Because they all, but you understand, in each and every press conference, we thank you for what Heineke's doing, he's done, but we finally got a guy that makes all of the throws.
There you go. Exactly. And that's what they're talking
about. Sam Howell makes all of the throws. They don't want to deal with Heineke. They really don't.
I'll take you to Dallas, Sunday Night Football.
Man.
Terry and Diggs one-on-one. He throws that ball inside to the outside. Diggs tracking him. If that's Wentz, Terry's either got a chance on the out, is going on the outside towards the sideline to get that ball, or it's going to be overthrown. It's not getting picked off.
Exactly.
It's not getting picked off.
And he predetermined that.
Yes.
Like, he didn't even look. He just said, bump it. I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, you got to give him a chance. You threw it right to Diggs. Wrong player. And we got blown out, but people forget that. People just forget that.
Like, I agree with Ronnie. Ronnie's right. Heineke is
an NFL backer. Can we stop? Thank you.
There you go.
That's what he is. Nothing more than that. And everybody keep trying to make it out.
Prophecy says, what happens if the defense doesn't improve? You got to outscore your opponents then.
Jack Del Rio need to be fired.
Well, that's another thing. I think it'd be better. Do you think, here you go, I on this defense, do you think Landon Collins comes back?
I hope, because we need him bad, because we don't have a free safety.
Okay then.
I'm not saying put Landon at free safety. I'm just saying, like, bring him back for his role. That way our linebacking core will be, I'm cool with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the free safety position, we don't have one, and that is a problem. And that's why I believe, like, I pretty much see the writing on the wall with our defense. I don't think we're going to be that good, to be honest with you, because we don't have a free safety. Bobby McCain is not the answer. He's horrible. And people keep mentioning me, Percy Butler, because Ron Rivera, because they keep listening to him, Percy Butler going to come in. If teams see Percy Butler, they're going to eat him alive. Because my problem was, that's why I went to Cal Hamilton. My problem was always, I'm tired of teams say, we're not going Cam Curl's way. We're just going to go this way. The left side of the field. And then guess what that do? Our linebackers have to compensate. And then intermediate and the deep throws, they take the top off of us. That's what they do. Middle of the field, opposite Cam. We need another dude on the opposite side that they can't throw to. We only have one threat on defense, and that's Cam, really. And even if our pass rush, they just going to do what they did last year. Quick pass, quick throws, eat the linebackers, eat the left side of the field up. We don't have a free safety. And until we get one, we have a problem. I think they should move Kendall to free.
I can see that.
I move Kendall to free, St. Juice and Will Jack, and I go get Torrey McTyer and bring him back and put him in the slot. Or use Danny Johnson.
And McTyer's coming off that injury, too. So
yeah. But I hope they give him another chance because he was so good.
He was good in training camp and then during the preseason.
Looking at that Falcons game, he was doing the number on Calvin Ridley. He was doing a number on Ridley. His only problem is he don't be getting his head around.
Was it the fact that he was doing well on Calvin Ridley, or did Calvin Ridley probably take us in the first quarter before McTyer?
No.
He was game. I don't know. I think he's probably gambling against the Falcons. That's why I'm just kidding. Let's see. Why? And this is another question. Ron is already. Oh, here we go. Why does two former linebackers not the teammate? And I've said this before. I say, if we can't trust Jack and Ron to find you competent linebackers, you got more problems in your linebacker room.
I think they're thinking about running a 5-2-4.
And they were kind of running an offshoot of that last year, was early on.
That's why I say I would like to move Bobby McCain and Landon's role and move him down there closer to the line of scrimmage, which is where he is good at the most. That's what I would do. And then him and Percy Butler can play that role and move Kendall to free. That's what I would do. And I think that'd be solid. But and I said this against the Giants game. I say the Giants game we found a silver lining for Jamin. And when we go 5 down, I want Jamin a part of that 5 on the edge. Because that end around that they did and he blew it up, that said something to me. I was like, and people always get on me about this. Jamin Davis should be used like Micah Parsons. That's how you should use him. There's only one difference between both of those players. One has a high motor, his mindset. I'm going to get it. You take that out of Micah and put it in Jamin, it's the same player. It's no difference. And you actually a more athletic one, slightly more athletic. And he's better in coverage than Jamin. But Jamin just doesn't have the up top. That's the only problem with Jamin. But if you take that and put it in Jamin, you have the same exact player. But we didn't know how to use Jamin. Use Jamin. If you use Jamin everywhere, I guarantee you Jamin looks just like Micah last year. I wouldn't have bet that. He would look just like Micah. You can't use him as a stationary dude. You can't. And that's what Dallas found out with Micah. They had Micah Parsons at linebacker. He was trash. They said, okay, bump it. Move him around. Look what he started doing. Same with Jamin. You can't use him as a stationary guy.
Chess piece. You got to have a chess piece. That's
exactly. Move him around. Like they do Cam. Move him around.
Yeah, that's it. And let's see here. First, Paulie agrees with you. Play Davis like Parsons. Paul. Anthony Hitchens, Dante Hightower.
Those dudes are middle linebackers. Well, Dante Hightower was the true middle linebacker. So I don't want no another. They might bring back Bostic, honestly. I think we all should prepare ourselves. I think they're gonna bring him back.
I told him that. I told Nati that 2 weeks ago. I said that they'll bring back John Bostic, and he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "They one thing about him is he terrible? Yes, but he's been valuable in that locker room, though, and that's what they all about that. Ron and them all about that. So I could see in some sick, twisted way they bring John.
I mean, they keep saying we need a veteran linebacker, so I think they're trying to warm us up just to bring him back and just have our hearts be busted open. Yeah, we need a veteran linebacker. We need a veteran guy.
Golly, man. What's up, Armand? Man. Yes, make sure you like the video. And Paulie says, hell no, can't get right. That's true. He can't get right. But I still have that image of him getting burned on that 3rd down against the Chargers in week 1 in my head. But
that 3rd and 20?
Yeah. And he just
when he was out of position.
Yeah. They had him lined up.
I was mad at Bobby McCain on that play too. Because he could have came down and stopped that immediately, but he didn't. So I was mad at him on that play.
These guys, they're gonna have to. We'll figure out with this defense. But it's like you said, if Jack can't get this defense right, it's got to be bye. I still find it astonishing that there was no, and I mean absolutely no changes on the coaching staff that didn't have people who were retiring. The only person retired was Pete Hainer as the tight ends coach, and he was one of the best coaches. Tight ends was probably one of the strongest spots over the last 2 years, no matter who you threw in there. So there it is, guy. I mean, that's it. Here, I'll go quick thing for you. Best draft pick that we had.
Cole Turner.
You like Cole Turner?
Howell. I'm gonna leave because I love Howell, but I'm just not gonna count Howell. But Cole Turner. I like him. He can be. I think personally, I made a video about it. I think Logan's going to fade to the 2. He's going to ascend to tight end 1, and I think he can be a mid-level 1 in this league. And the mid-level 1 is a top 10 tight end.
It is.
So I think, and when I seeing him in minicamp, I'm like, this dude quick, and the way he sinks his hips, he's not stiff at all. I'm like, you put him on Wentz, hey, and then Logan. He's getting older anyway, and we don't know how he's going to be off that ACL. Logan's a solid tight end too.
Mm-hmm.
That you good. Cole Turner and Logan. I think I want us to do something with Sanchez. You got to do something with him. Like, I don't want to see him on the bench. Bring him in as a fullback. I threw out the idea. Put him in as an edge rusher. Use him at edge. He's athletic enough. He's strong enough. And really, it's really nothing that goes into it. Just go get the freaking quarterback. Okay? Put your hand down and just go get him. You got a dude that talented, that gifted, athletically. Use him somehow. Use him somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Worst draft pick.
Federian Mathis. Okay. I thought that was horrible.
Just at that spot.
I mean, it just didn't make. Yeah, because we needed so much. We needed a free safety.
Mm-hmm.
We needed a linebacker. We needed other things, and we just didn't do it. We just took. Why are we taking Deron Payne's replacement this year? Wait next year. You actually have more draft capital. But I mean, Federian Mathis to me was horrible. I couldn't stand that pick. But he's here now, so it is what it is.
My favorite pick was probably and it's a tie between Brian Robinson and Cole Turner. I think you got physical on the offensive side of the ball in two skill positions, right? With your tight end, you got a guy who's converted wide receiver, played in Nevada, had 10 touchdowns last year with Carson Strong, who was everybody else's favorite. It was Rodgers. That was Rodgers' quarterback of the year right there in his wing T wishbone offense. And then we also had Brian Robinson, which the guy, if you watched him against your Cincinnati Bearcats, homeboy was running through them like a warm buff through
he was through butter. That's because of the defense we played.
Mm-hmm.
I think we played 3 down, so he can run against that.
He was just saying he'll knock people down, and I think that was a level of toughness that was lacking, especially in that running back room, because all the running backs that they really had, not named Patterson, were like converted wide receivers, and you can even tell it in their running sometimes that it just.
The Brian Robinson pick I felt could have waited to the 4th round. I just didn't want him in the 3rd round. I was mad about the pick. So I'm why in the 3rd round? Why him? But he's here now. I get why they did it. The league is going to 2 running back systems, 2 running back sets.
Mm-hmm.
If they thinking about lightning and thunder, he's thunder to Gibby's lightning. D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, back there with Ron Rivera. That worked out well. So I get why they did it. I'm cool with why they did it. I'm not cool with where they drafted him.
Mm.
You could have waited. I mean, Leo Chenal fell to the late 3rd.
Yeah.
All right, come on, man. Nakobe Dean. That was the guy for you. Because he could do everything, too. That was the guy you should have drafted.
And then they talked about his pec muscle, too. Now the Eagles
I don't care. I don't care about it. Get him.
Wasn't Nakobe Dean the one who they gave him the Alabama National Championship hat? I was actually they did do that to him. So I said that's just a bad omen. But no. I guess the worst pick, and I'm gonna say initially, I thought the worst pick was, until I kind of look back at it, I thought the Jahan Dotson pick originally was the worst pick. And the only reason why I say this is that you had a round 2 grade on him. But then when you saw what you could do with the kid, I was like, okay, I ain't mad.
I mean, I'm still kind of upset over it a little bit. I'm trying to move on from it. But I wouldn't have picked them there.
And that's what it's like, kind of how you feel about who was saying, somebody was saying it, they were talking about Mathis. It's like, I like him, but I wouldn't have took him there. It was like, I like him, but was he a 16? And you had the ability to trade back still, because they said they had options.
That's the problem now. I said this to myself. I said, I know what they expect from him. He didn't these dudes didn't ask to be picked where they're picked.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask to be that, but you're picked there. Yeah. So you're expected to perform at that particular level. And if you don't, we have a problem. I'm not going to hold those dudes to that because it's not their fault. I am holding Ron Rivera them to that. I'm expecting from Ron Rivera and them that this dude is over 1,100 yards, 1,200 yards this year. That's what I'm expecting. Now, for my expectation for Jahan Dotson, I'm not expecting him to do that. But front office and company, he better be over 1,000 yards this year. But Jahan Dotson, me looking at him, he didn't ask to be picked here. 700 yards, I'm cool with. 700 yards, I'm cool with from him. But you writing checks that these dudes can't cash. You putting them in situations where the heat is on.
Right.
And they didn't have to, you know what I mean? Come on, the heat is on these dudes now.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, like I said, with Dotson, I can't think of his name. He was a threat in the red zone at Penn State. Like I think surprise for somebody his size, like he always, when he was running in the back of the end zone, he always seemed to know where the line was. And when the ball's going to, and I said, I think that's a plus. Now it's going to be bigger guys back there with him, but if he can use, now he doesn't have all world speed, but he has really good
run
speed.
Bunch formations.
Yeah, just run it, try to get him open. You get it, you're good. And I think if you got a guy who's got like 9-10 touchdowns next year, that's a plus. And I'm talking about total touchdown. I'm not just talking about receiving because he can do more. Heck, if he throws a touchdown next year, because he did throw a pass, it was a pretty good trick play that they had at Penn State. So I mean, you've got the ability for him to rise up. We'll see. Everything is everything's. But like I said, I thought that at first, but I will say now that kind of looking back at it, I would say the worst pick. I guess the Chris. I mean, and I may even I don't hate him, but I guess maybe the Christian Holmes pick just because of how old the guy is. I think that's the worst pick because the guy's like 25 already, getting ready to go into his rookie year. So I'm like, for a corner, I'm like, I don't know about that.
I ain't care about the 7th rounders to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the Paul kid will be all right, but I don't know about Christian Holmes. It's just,
I don't know neither. You a camp body probably. Mm-hmm. You a camp body. He ain't gonna make your practice squad member. He ain't making the final 53.
Let's see here. 5th best wide receiver or best for him. I like J-Dot, but the opportunity cost was way too much.
Exactly.
Right now, and to that point, he's right. But to that point, right now it is. Because you got to think, Stephon Diggs, right? He was a 5th round draft pick.
Yeah, but I hate when people use that. I hate when people use that argument. The reason why, here's why I hate it. Because you're taking dudes and putting them in the perfect situation. If they wasn't in that situation, they'll be just exactly what that draft pick said they were. Like, you had a prime Case Keenum thing with the Kirk Cousins. You just went to Josh Allen. So, with Devontae Adams, all of them had running mates. Adam Thielen, Devontae Adams, he had Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy calling plays, Tyreek Hill, 5th round pick. You had a prime Alex Smith. You had Patrick Mahomes and the greatest offensive play caller ever. I hate that argument because they're in the perfect situations to help them out. Yeah, they're not receivers where you take them and you put them on. You put them in Terry's situation. I always say this: none of them will succeed in Terry's situation. None of them.
I think Devontae Adams could. I do think that he could survive in this situation. I think there's a couple of those guys that could survive in this situation. I think Diggs may have been a guy who could have survived in this.
You want to know why I say that?
Go ahead.
One of the reasons why I say that is they all crybabies, and they all have attitude. So you think they'll be able to go 2-3 quarters without getting targeted? You think those guys can go up and cut like 4 or 5 feet in the air and then come down and lay on their head on their first catch that they need? The catch that Terry first target, he got to lean back for. That's what Terry's living with.
That's fair.
He got to make those kind of catches. That joint against Dallas, it was no way in the world he should have been jumping up in the air for that. It's no way he should have been that high in the air trying to get a ball for us. If that was Carson Wentz, he would have caught that joint in stride and went out of bounds. We would have went all the way down the field.
And then to your point, though, you said, like you talk about Terry, right? How many people taking Terry in the first round, taking Terry in the first round if you redid it all over again? It'd be a whole lot of teams that would, right? But he was a 3rd round pick, and then even to that point, people were like, well, he's just a gunner. Remember, that was what they were saying. He was a gunner. And to my point, what I was saying about Stephon Diggs is, I said at the end of the day, the draft positioning and all these and where you pick a guy, it means nothing if they don't perform, right? In any form or fashion. It doesn't matter. You could be, it's like with Ryan Leaf, right? Although San Diego was an awful spot, and Peyton Manning, I think you could have put Peyton Manning anywhere and he would have been great.
But that's why I say, why Green Bay feel comfortable with letting Devontae go?
Exactly.
Why did Chiefs felt comfortable letting Tyreek go? Pat Mahomes didn't care to take a pay cut because they knew we can make another one of you. You didn't make us. We made you. My point is with Terry made himself. Those dudes, that's why I say people, if Tyreek Hill was as good as everybody say is, why not, give him the 30? Oh, Patrick Mahomes, I don't care about him. We'll just get another dude. We make another one. Aaron Rodgers didn't cry for Devontae Adams. He knew. I made Devontae. I go get another dude and I'll make another one of them. Because those teams basically saying to themselves, they didn't make themselves. We made them, and then they got cocky. So goodbye. Good riddance. And I had a bold prediction that Tyreek Hill won't be over 1,000 yards this year. He's going to go. Whew. So all that hype around him that people keep buying, I don't think he's a top 10 receiver. That's just me.
Really? I
don't think he's a top 10 receiver.
Yeah, I think, and then also you look at Tyreek Hill, I think he has a lot of baggage anyway, because there's a lot of issues that he had that have been brushed under the rug, pray tell, with his baby mama and stuff. And I think that had a lot to do with him going out to Kansas City because, Andy and them had problems anyway. His son killed a young girl in there. I think
his son got in a car accident.
Yeah, caught in a car accident. I think somebody either got killed or hurt. Some young girl got hurt or killed. And somebody check that for me. I know I'm not making that up.
Yeah, I think he got a car accident. I think his son. I don't think his son did anything wrong or so. I don't know.
He did. No, his son was a drunk. His son was drunk.
Okay. Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, that's what I said. So, I think that's part of them kind of quietly cleaning up the mess in Kansas City, and then with Tyreek Hill and I think it was some bad stuff he was talking about. I think he was talking about choking somebody or may have done. There's some underlying things that are outside of just him being that ball player. But Andy Reid knows when to cut him. He knows. He knew when to get rid of Donovan McNabb. He knew when to get rid of Andy Reid. I mean, not Andy Reid, Alex Smith.
Yeah, he did.
And then, thankfully, he did not call us and say, "Hey, y'all want Tyreek Hill?" No, we good. We didn't got fooled out with you enough as it is, though. But look like we can't. We done ran over on this. Jarris, I appreciate you, brother. Tell the folks where they can find you at.
Yeah, I can find me at Jarris's Corner. That's pretty much it. I don't have social media, but you can find me at Jarris's Corner. That's where y'all can find me at.
Yeah, you can always find him in Tim's Discord too. So it's always good if you want a good laugh. It's him and Roger. They always agreeing on something. The wing tee, the wishbone, physicality wins out every single day. But y'all go and check him out there. Also, tomorrow I get to tell y'all this because we may get it. This week I won't say tomorrow. This week. One of our friends returns back to the channel. Scott Jackson will be joining me on a pre-recorded video. So stay tuned for that. If you love Scott Jackson, y'all going to be wanting to do this because it's going to be a whole lot of receding hairlines on this channel next week. So it'd be me, Scott Jackson, just be a whole bunch of foreheads right here. But anyway, for Jarris, appreciate him coming on here. Sanchez 405. Keep that same energy. We outlast bastards together. Until the next time, y'all. Love, peace, and hell. Somebody, please go thank y'all for stopping by too. Somebody get my theme music, please. Where it is? There it is.